Okay, this little tip takes you through how to set up the Outlook synchronization with Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009. So for example, if you wanted to use the capabilities in CRM, if I go into the contacts, for example, you'll see you've got the ability to add Outlook contacts. Now, to set this up, you need to go to the CRM area page. So if I go into CRM, what you'll see down the bottom in the setup area is the Outlook setup wizard. Now to do this, in this particular case I'm logged in as Nancy. You have to make sure that the email address is actually set up against Nancy. So if I go into the Human Resource Management module, and if I go into the employee details, if I just do a quick find on for Nancy as the user that I logged on to, so this in this case Nancy, if I go into the contact information, you'll see I've got an email there for Nancy in this particular case. Now, if you were doing this with your own Outlook, for example, you'd install Microsoft Dynamics AX locally on your machine as a developer install. You could actually put your own email address here and synchronize to some folders on your own Outlook, for example. In this particular case, I've got a demo environment set up. So in this case, Nancy's email address is fine and the contact information. So if I go back to CRM, so I'm in the CRM area page, for example. So if I scroll down to the setup area, I've got Microsoft Dynamics AX Outlook, and I've got the Outlook setup wizard. So if I run that wizard, you'll see that it picks up the current logged in user as Nancy. Okay, you'll see that I've got the Outlook user identified, and then I can pick the contacts folder. So if I go across to Outlook, I can pick contacts. If I go back, then I can pick my task folder. If I go back, you'll see that this is now being filled in the specific folder names. I've got one more, which is the calendar. So if I pick the appointment or calendar folder and click it here. So of course in Outlook, I'm using the default calendar, contacts, and task folder, but you could actually go and create new folders within your own Outlook storage to store the contacts or tasks or appointments specifically from Dynamics, so to keep them separate from your core sort of email from a demo point of view. So if I go back here, you'll see that I've got the three different folders set up. I can simply go next, and then I can finish. Now if I go back to Dynamics AX, you'll see if I go back to my leads, actually if I go back to the contacts, for example, you'll see I've got the Outlook contact. So if I click on this first contact here, Aaron, for example, I can click on that and add that to my contacts. Now if I go and add another one, for example Alex, I can add Alex to my contacts. So I've got a couple there. Now if I go back to my CRM main menu, you'll find down in the periodic activities you've got the Outlook synchronization. So you can either run this manually by clicking the synchronization, or actually log out of Dynamics AX and then log back in and it'll synchronize. So I'm just going to run it manually. So if I click OK here, you'll see that it's going to synchronize my contacts and task items, and you'll see that the details have been synchronized here. So if I go into Outlook, if I go into my contacts, you'll see that I've got Alex set up here as the contact, as one of the contacts that I'd actually synchronized. So if I go into tasks, you'll see it hasn't synchronized any tasks, so I don't have any set up and appointed to me, for example. So that's the quick demo tip on how to set up the Outlook synchronization with Microsoft Dynamics AX.